Presentation on Karl Barth. Barth was a theologian who was born in Switzerland for the First World War. After the First World War, he became allied with the Confessing Church against Adolf Hitler. He is mostly known for his commentary on Romans, where he explains that Christianity is not supposed to be allied with any human culture achievements or possessions. He also authored the Barmen Declaration, a statement of opposition to the Nazis and the so-called German Christians. According to the Barnum Declaration, Scripture tells us that by divine appointment, the state and the still unredeemed world, in which the Church is also situated, has the task of maintaining justice and peace, so far as human discernment and human ability make this possible. By means of the threat and use of force, the Church acknowledges, with gratitude and reverence toward God, the benefit of this his appointment. It draws attention to God's dominion, God's commandment, and justice, and with the responsibility of those who rule and those who are ruled. It trusts and obeys the power of the word by which God upholds all things. The life of Karl Barth was punctuated by several theological writings and a very long affair with a woman named Charlotte, who was Barth's assistant and mistress. This is a picture of Barth with Charlotte and his real wife, Nellie Hoffman, who was a violinist. Barth started out with his commentary on Romans in 1919, and eventually he became a professor of the University of Nottingham and eventually a professional minister. And in 1928 he published Theology and Church. From 1930 to 1935, Barth was a professor at Bonn and he published more books. He eventually published his famous No essay on natural theology. The lead up to World War II began when Hitler was made Chancellor of Germany in January 1933. In 1934, Barth made his famous No essay on natural theology, and the Barmen Declaration was published in 1934 too. In 1935, Barth was fired from his professorship at Bonn from refusing to take an oath to Hitler, and in September, Germany invaded Poland, which is the official start of World War II. Eventually, the war ended, and Barth published another book called Dogmatics in Outline. The Confessing Church stopped existing in 1948. The Confessing Church was the church that Barth had participated in that was against the Nazis. His affair with Charlotte ended in 1964, and in around 1965, Barth published an appraisal of Vatican II, and in 1967, the Church Dogmatics book was declared finished, although he was never able to finish or publish it. Sometime during the 9th and 10th of December 1968, Barth died in Basel, Switzerland. Charlotte died in 1975, and Nellie died in 1976. Finally, in 1991, Barth's children revealed the affair with Charlotte, which was not known to the public at the time of Barth's death. So, what is natural theology and why did Barth dislike it so much? To talk about natural theology, we need to talk about general and special revelation. General revelation is the revelation of God through nature and what you can see with your eyes. Special revelation is the revelation of God through the Bible, what God tells us about himself in his word. During the time Barth was alive, people had started to use natural theology beyond its intended purpose, where people were saying that actually we can know everything we need to know about God through natural theology alone. And that is why Barth criticized them in his No essay. So after Barth died in 1991, some of his children revealed that the relationship between Barth and Charlotte, which was suspicious already because they lived in the same house with Bart's wife, was a long affair. Charlotte's bedroom was only accessible through Bart's study, and she helped him do some of the research that eventually became church dogmatics, and because of her training under Barth, she later became a theologian in her own right. We can't brush it under the rug, and at the same time, we can't use it to completely discredit what Barth has said in his books. But it was wrong, and Bart's mom wrote to him saying, "What good is the most discerning theology when it suffers a shipwreck in your own home?" Re- Regarding what should be done or felt about this circumstance, this is not something that should be made to write Bart off, but not to be ignored. This concludes my presentation on Karl Barth. Goodbye, and stay curious.